Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got another 2024 rookie report here for you on the channel. My podcast co host Jason DiRienzo and I are going to tell you everything you need to know about Cody Schrader. Had a great season at Mizzou this year, rushed for over 1,000 yards, had some nice pass reception games as well. We're going to tell you everything you need to know. We're going to dig into a scouting report, draft capital, player comps, PFF grades, everything you need to know to get you ready for your upcoming rookie draft. So you play Dynasty, you play Fantasy, you're looking for a YouTube channel out there. It's going to give you a look at the 2024 class and beyond. We're going to be talking about 2025 players in the near term. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to the show. All right, Rick Jason, let's talk about a running back that we've watched the last week. I've been feeding you films, and that's Cody
Yes, you
Schrader of
have.
Mizzou, 5'8", 207-pound senior wide receiver. I think I sent you his LSU game on all 22 and
Yep.
his Georgia film on all 22, which has been really good to watch. And of course, we've been watching him at Mizzou. He's had some spectacular games this year. Um, at Mizzou. And I love the fact that he's a walk-on player 2 years ago, and here he
Mm.
is, you know, being talked about going to the NFL draft, went down to the Senior Bowl, had a really good time, probably was maybe a little bit of a stock up, certainly wasn't a stock down coming out of there, but
No,
let's go
no,
to
not at all.
I think we have to. I'm going to read you his career statistics here, and you have to just keep in mind that these statistics are only for 2 years. All right, that he was at Mizzou. He was a JUCO player, I believe, before that, but he rushed for 404 yards, 404 attempts for 2,168 yards, 21 TDs, averaging 5.4 yards a carry over 2 seasons, 39 receptions for 326 yards, a big goose egg for for touchdowns, catching the ball, 8.4 average. He has had 2 fumbles in 2 seasons. His PFF grades for the 2023 season, pretty decent across the board, 89.2 his rushing grade. His elusive rating is a little below average. It's at 56. I think we're going to talk about that when we get to his scouting
Yeah.
report. His yards after contact as well, under the 50 percentile threshold at 3.07 yards after contact, although it's kind of contradictory because here it's 851 yards, ranked 14th in all of college football. Missed tackles forced, he had 51, tied 42nd in college football, and carries over 15 plus yards. He had 18, which was tied for 29th in college football. So overall, just I think a solid contributor. Let's get to his
Mhm.
scouting report. All right. And what do we like about Cody Schrader? All right. Well, he's just, I look at him and I see a blue collar, just tough, physical, player. I think he's got good functional play strength. I think he's got underrated acceleration. Like he does not have any kind of long speed where he's going to take it. But I'll tell you, watching the film, he's got some ability after, hitting the line of scrimmage to, hustle through that line of scrimmage.
Mm.
So I see that. I'm going to let you talk about his positives because there are a couple things on the negative side that I want to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, I think you nailed a few of them already. The contact balance is definitely one. I love that he keeps his legs turning through contact. I mean, do I wish that he was a little bit more stronger, to kind of break through? Because I saw in that Georgia game, he would try to keep his legs moving, but
Yeah.
there wasn't much area or anywhere for him to go per se, right?
Mhm.
But he's definitely a willing. He's a competitor at nature. You could absolutely see it. I do like the initial acceleration. I think that is going to help him tremendously. The part that I'm concerned about, real quick, and I know you're going to get to some stuff, is just some of the vision. I want to see the acceleration with the vision, so I know that he knows how to navigate between the
Mhm.
trenches. But the acceleration is definitely there. I do think he's going to be a better pass catcher than we're giving him credit for right now. It's not his fault that he was only used so often at Missouri, but at the Senior Bowl, man, he looked good in those pass catching drills. So I think that is going to be a big part of his game at the next level. He's got that low center of gravity when he runs between the tackles, gets low, runs behind his pads. I like that. To me, he's just a solid running back who is a hard worker, almost a Blake Corum intangible type guy, where he's a hard worker, blue
Yeah.
collar guy, will do whatever it takes, got great work ethic. And you could see it for him to produce the way he did in 2 years as a walk on. He's got great
Yeah.
work ethic. So I think some of that's going to translate. And I think he's going to be a good leader in the locker room. But some of the on field stuff that concern me, I'm going to let you talk about because I think we might be seeing the same things.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you put some tweets out on X too, and it was very clear in the films that we watched, especially that all all-22 view is really nice because you can
Yeah.
really see he's just has a lack of lateral agility for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you put a tweet out on X2 when you showed Dalvin Cook not to, I think earlier today, right? And you just saw him
Right.
whiz, from side to side and not trying to compare the two by any means, but you need at least a baseline of lateral agility to make guys miss in the
Correct.
NFL. Like you have to. It's like you can't just be a one cut up the field, put your head down, pads down, get what you can. And watching Cody Schrader, that's a lot of what it is. Like you said, he's a tough player. The guys are going to love him on the team. He's going to give you everything he
Mhm.
has. I just think from an athletic standpoint, sometimes his feet just won't allow him to do what he needs to do to make guys miss. And I've always said it for not just wide receivers, but for running backs too. Like you have to be able to create space. And as a running back to create space, you need lateral agility and you need the sweet feet. Either you have sweet feet or beat feet, right? And I just don't see the sweet feet where he can string together a couple, see you know, the second level and make adjustments. He seems to, once he gets ahead of steam, he just loses all ability to navigate and adjust and make guys miss to get additional yards. He just gets what he can. And like you said, he's got good pad level, physical, tough player, but there's just nothing special with him that I think is going to make him other than a depth piece in I don't believe that he's going to get any kind of immediate rotation in a backfield.
Oh, I don't either. No.
So
And honestly, real quick too, he goes too wide when he's trying to cut into a gap. I wish he'd stay closer to his lineman. Kind of,
mhm,
Matt Waldman has a great term for it. But if he stayed closer to his lineman and didn't go so wide, he actually might be able to hit some of these gaps. It takes him too many steps to change direction once he's already running full speed. And even though I like the burst to get to the perimeter, when he has to cut up, he takes
yeah.
so many steps to cut into a gap, and I think that is really gonna limit him. So what you just said, immediate role, I don't see that because I think he's got a long way to go within some of the synergy between the vision and the feet. I think that is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think it was again watching that all 22 film is really good because it's really clear to see
Oh, it
him
exposes it. Yeah.
exactly a little bit. So let's talk about his draft capital. With what we see. I mean, he's going to get drafted, but it's going to be
Oh, yeah.
mid to late day three is
Agreed.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
rookie drafts, I think he's going to be a fourth rounder.
Mhm.
I
Agreed.
he may get a he may sneak into the third if he gets that great landing spot, but and the unexpected draft capital. So my dynasty kind of player comp for him is Damian Harris, right? Damian Harris just had a lot more buzz going, and played for the SEC, had a lot more buzz coming into the NFL, and just could never. And he was just another player that I just didn't think could shake and bake guys, and was just more of a straight ahead, more physical kind of runner. So that's where I see a comp. I mean, Cody Schrader has I think a lot of comps out there. He's just going to be a role player. I couldn't find any exciting, running back to comp him to because I just don't think he's really going to really hit our dynasty rosters with much playing time at all.
Yeah, it's so hard too because I like the kid, man. I love the
Yeah.
film. It's just I just don't see a lot of it translating. I have Chase Edmonds as my comp, and I see a lot of what Chase Edmonds does in Cody Schrader. And when Chase Edmonds has opportunity, he does decent, but it's never anything where you get excited about starting Chase Edmonds on a Sunday. You know what I mean? It's just like he's
Right.
there because he's has an opportunity, and it's hard to find a running back that can get an opportunity like Chase Edmonds has on teams that he's been on. So Schrader could be that guy. I think another problem too, he's going to be an older prospect. So if he doesn't get an immediate role, I mean,
Yeah.
man, we could see him at the age of what, 26, 27 when he finally has some fantasy value. And that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. There'll be too many other draft classes that'll have more exciting
Exactly.
players in day three as well. That will, I think, limit his role. So if you're a Cody Schrader, believer out there, you may not be happy with us, but that's like we're just
Temper the expectations, I guess we
yeah,
could say
yeah.
that.
We're just gonna we have to just tell you how we see it, guys. I mean,
Right.
that's just not every one of these players is gonna hit our dynasty rosters. In fact, not I think it's probably 25 to 30% of all the players we talk about will. So Cody Schrader, just unfortunately, great fun player. Just don't think he's going to have much of a dynasty value for us. So there you guys got it. That is our rookie report on Mr. Cody Schrader.